everyone, I'm Melanie from the Midland Public Library Makerplace, and today we're turning old books into new purses. To make your book purse, you will need a hardcover book. We've already removed the pages from the books in our kits, but if you're doing this on your own, you're cutting through the very front and very back pages, and you should be able to remove everything at once that way. You also need some fabric for the sides and lining, and some kind of handle. Here we have a pair of plastic D handles that we printed with the MPL Makerplace 3D printer. The last things you'll need are scissors, scrap paper and pencil, and glue. I recommend both hot glue and white glue for this project, but if you only have one kind, that's fine too. The first step in making your purse is making paper templates for the fabric. To make the sides of your purse, open the book as wide as you'd like to open the purse and trace the inside. Then draw across the top to complete the triangle. Then draw about 1/4 inch around the shape for your glue seams. You're going to cut 2 of these from your fabric, so you might want to make a note of that on the template so you don't forget. For the lining template, lay the book open and create 2 rectangles that overlap at the spine. Remember to account for the curve of the spine or your fabric will be short. Make marks and then use a ruler to draw proper straight edges before cutting. Next, trace your templates onto your fabric, adding that same 1/4 inch glue seam to 3 sides of your rectangles. You don't need it on the side that sits in the spine. I'm using pencil to trace, which is a terrible idea, and I don't recommend it because it keeps catching on the fabric. So if you have some chalk or one of those fancy disappearing markers they make expressly for this purpose, please use those instead. After you've traced everything, go ahead and cut it out, and don't forget you need 2 of those triangles. You'll also need 4 little strips to hold your handles. I'm using the hem that already existed on my fabric and cutting 2-inch strips. If you don't have a hem, cut the strips 3 times the width you want, then glue it down folded in thirds like a brochure to create the same effect. Attach the strips to the handles by wrapping 2 around the bottom of each handle and gluing the ends together. Try not to glue them to your work surface. Next, you're going to attach the side pieces, starting with the bottom in the spine. Place the glue within your 1/4 inch glue allowance and press it into the book. If you have hot glue, I'd use that here, but as you can see, I'm using white glue because I lost my hot glue sticks, which is fine, it just means a long wait time before moving on to the next step. Now with my glue gun back in hand, which is awesome because I have no patience, I'm working on the top seams. Apologies for my head, I have a habit of bending really close when I'm working. So all I'm doing is putting some glue on that 1/4 inch seam along the top and folding it in on itself. This edge won't be glued to anything else, so you want to make sure you don't leave a raw edge that can fray as you use your purse. I'm going to do the same thing to the 3 sides of the rectangles that we added the glue allowance to. Again, it's just going to make things neater and less prone to fraying. If you own a sewing machine, please use that and create your edges that way. I wanted this to be as easy as possible, so I went with the no-sew route, but this is such finicky work to do with the hot glue gun that I'm sure I'm now missing skin from my fingers, so be careful. Now that the glue in the spine is finally dry, I'm attaching the sides. Just a bit of glue along the edge and press your glue allowance to the book cover. If you're using hot glue, you can do them all one after the other, but if you're using white glue, you'll have to do some waiting again between them. And more apologies for my head. If you have difficulty holding the purse open to glue the other side, just stand something in it to hold it open. Next, you want to glue the handle tabs into the purse, again by tossing a random object inside it to hold it open. And because I'm using hot glue, I can do one side after the other without having to wait. The last step is to install your lining, and for this I'm actually going to use white glue on purpose. It'll spread better underneath the fabric so that you get a nice flat lining. Carefully insert it, though you'll still get glue everywhere, and once it's lined up, press out all of the wrinkles. Grab a paper towel or tissue to wipe off any glue from where it shouldn't be, and I'm weighing my lining down with another book only for an hour or so to help it adhere before I switch back to propping it open with binoculars to dry. When it's dry, flip it over and do the same to the other side. When it's completely dry, you may need to glue down corners or edges a bit more, and you can use hot glue for that. And that's it! You've turned a book into a purse. There's lots of ways to customize this too. If you sew a dart in the top of the side pieces, it'll help it fold easier. You could add a clasp or closure, or shop around for different handles or a strap. And if you liked the jacket art or want to show your love for a particular book, you can glue the jacket cover back on or add a decal using Cricut. Now you just have to decide if your purse is a gift or if you're keeping it for yourself. Thanks for watching.